But that was, you know, one of the things that when I first met Rob, I asked him, you know, what's the big deal about going to Image and being able to do the Youngblood characters and stuff like that? And he said, look, if I want Badrock and Shaft to have a fight, and I want Badrock to kill Shaft, I don't have to ask anybody, I don't have to do anything, I just do it, it's done, it's drawn, and there's a certain benefit to that.
Yep.
It was not something that ever rang my bell, but it did ring your bell.
Yeah, there's no, I mean, honestly, there's no, Marvel and DC own their respective characters, and you just got to deal with it. And you got to know that going in, and you have your fun, and you say thank you, and, I mean, because they're great toys to play with.
But if you haven't done the story, right there, then the story's still yours, and then you can take the story and go someplace else and do what you want.
What are we doing on time?
We're doing, I think we have another 5 minutes.
What would you like to ask? I've been working in comics for 25 years this year, which is shocking to me, but I got hired out of high school. So I was like a young kid, so now I'm old. And honestly, you will, okay, Jimmy J and his brother, who were throwing this fantastic convention, came and saw me in my room last night, and we hung out for a little while, and he walked in, and I knew, I go, this is it, Jimmy's gonna, I've never worn glasses before, but old ass Rob wears glasses when he draws now. It was this year that my eyes gave out on me. And so I answered the door with the glasses, and I could tell Jimmy's like, do I say anything? And he didn't say anything. And so like 10 minutes in, I go, are you gonna comment on the glasses? And he's like, I didn't want to say anything else. And I'm like, I'm old, brother. I'm old. I got 3 kids, a mortgage, and I gotta meet some deadlines, and my eyes are gone. So, 25 years, dude, I'm wearing the specs now. You'll see me, if I draw in the room, you'll be like, ha, look at old ass Liefeld. Because I'm like, I'm gonna see this on Facebook. Grandpa Liefeld. Next, the beer gut. It's coming.
Guy with the green band.
Can you talk a little bit about what response you got from putting Obama in Youngblood?
50,000 copies, that was the response I got. Literally, I was like...
You're selling 8.
We were literally, I hadn't looked at the sales figures on Youngblood. And I learned a lesson with Youngblood. I love Joe Casey, I love Derek Donovan. Those stories are fantastic. My fan base, my hardcores, I have a message board, Rob Liefeld, about 3,000 members. I talked to them for the last 7 years, and they said, Rob, we don't like this direction. And I was like, okay, well, we let it go, and then they sent me this sales numbers, and I'm like, oh my gosh! The book was about to go to print, and I said, wait 1 week. I'm having Obama pick the next Youngblood team. And 50,000 copies later, literally in 1 week, and we sold out. Those books don't exist. You know, because people, I came here, Mike Malvey, I think, Atomic Comics bought like 3,000 copies, and I sat here for an entire afternoon. And again, that was, that was only 2 years ago. But I mean, now 50,000 is great. Marvel did 500,000. I mean, I think there's 10 versions of Obama and Spider-Man. Hey, check it out. Spider-Man here, Spider-Man here, yellow, blue, green. I remember I was coming home from the New York show, and I've seen every Obama version of the Spider-Man. And I go in to buy like a M&M before I get on my plane at JFK, and I go, there's a yellow Obama version? It's right there, and there's like 50 of them. Like, I haven't seen this one. This must be the airport variant. Literally, I was very lucky that I moved. I think I was the third. Eric Larson did it first. He doesn't get enough credit. He put Obama on the cover and Dragon punching Bush before anybody, you know? I mean, that guy had his stuff together. Obviously, Spider-Man is the biggest worldwide global brand. So if he does anything, it's going to be bigger than whatever you do. But Larson had it, and then I just said, let's do it. And Image said, well, we don't know if Eric's going to be okay with this. I go, Eric doesn't own Obama. What the heck? And so I said, Eric, are you cool with this? He was like, okay. And so I put it out, Eric's blessing, and Eric, myself, and I mean, I think Eric went back to, he sold more than I did. But then all those others, I was like, wow, I'm so glad. Because mine came out in February. Marvel's came out, you know, like at the inauguration. But like, you got to jump that stuff. And I felt it fit because we were changing the direction. And having the president pick a new team, that makes sense. It wasn't like, hey, let me get in a taxi and drive with the Youngblood team. No, it was, you know, it made sense. But so anyway, I was glad. Then what they come up with, like Obama fighting the future wars and Palin in a cavewoman suit, and you're like, okay, I'm glad I got here when I did because that ship sank.
Anybody else? I got a guy pointing at a time thing. One more question.
One more, the biggie. Who's Red Hulk? Oh, we answered that already.
Guy there with the I love something. I can't see the rest of what you love.
Oh, and then I gotta tell Jeff Loeb story before we leave. Go.
Oh, I'm just curious if there are any established characters that you've always wanted to do that you've never been able to work on?
Luke, Han, Chewbacca, Leia, Boba. I mean,
Why don't you do that stuff for Dark Horse?
I would love to. It's you know, I actually have a story that one of the best things I ever drew, and it was when I was kind of semi-retirement, and I stopped my laser disc in both places. When in Empire Strikes Back, you know when Luke makes it, after Luke blows up the walker, are they called AT-ATs? I'm stupid. And then it shows him like climbing over the hill, and you see like the transports are coming, and there's like an iconic shot of like Luke in his thing, and he sees the Millennium Falcon take off, something like that. In the time that he gets out, it starts with the dropped AT&T or AT-AT, and it moves. The last shot is him looking at the Falcon, and in between there's a pack of Wampas coming over the hill, and Luke sees them, and they rip into a pack of stormtroopers, and then Luke takes out a couple of stormtroopers, and then like it shows like the few minutes that happen in between there. Not a great idea, but it was a great idea to me. And I drew it because I'm like, and I still have it in my sketchbook. I drew Star Wars and I published it in my sketchbook. You know, someday. And I was stupid. They offered me to do Star Wars cards for those collections, and I just never had the time to do them. So I already missed my own opportunity. The last question, and this is my best story, because this is how awesome Jeff is. So when Red Hulk appears, the first issue, and Jeff's my good buddy, and I can call him, and we always have this thing called Cone of Silence. Cone of Silence, you know. Jeff tells me that Red Hulk is Thunderbolt Ross. And I'm like, awesome! That's awesome! And he tells me, now check this out. I don't think Jeff knew that Red Hulk was going to be the hottest commodity Marvel had seen in years. So then, Red Hulk blows up and becomes the biggest thing. And so I'm like, so when are you going to reveal that it's Thunderbolt Ross? And no kidding. He tries to do a Jedi mind trick on me. He goes, I didn't tell you that. And I go, Jeff, you told me it's Thunderbolt. And I said, how's he hiding the mustache? How's he hiding? Because I'm a comic fan like everybody. I'm sitting there going, what happened to the mustache? And he goes, I didn't tell you that, Robert. Because when he wants to get serious with me, he called me Robert.
Absolutely.
I didn't tell you that, Robert. I don't know what you're, and he's barely, it's like he's almost about to crack a smile, but he's keeping the stone cold face. I didn't tell you that, Robert.
But in fairness, Rob is also very good at saying things like as though it's true. Like he'll say to me things that maybe I didn't tell him, that he's trying to get a confirmation on.
Anyway, the truth is, he literally had me doubting. 18 months in, I was like, I think I'm wrong. It isn't Thunderbolt Ross. I believe he didn't tell me. And then there it is, and I'm like, that's sack. Hey, thank you guys for putting up with us. Thank you very much.